Oh shit, we're live.
All right. All right. So we're going to be watching this together, right?
Yeah, we're gonna watch. Hopefully, if I have the right stream, we're gonna watch Marvel's Next Big Thing panel and talk about it, see what happens. I don't know. I talked to you a little bit, but for everyone out there, if anyone's watching, I had this idea because I'm also into the video game space, and they do this a lot in the video game space where they do like live events and then people like react to it. And I don't see anyone doing it in comics. Maybe someone is. I just don't see them. So it's like, hey, let's try this out, see what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, obviously we know a little bit of what's coming down. They announced it a little while back. I know you were excited for some. I'm excited for some of the announcements they made. I mean, outside of that, are you expecting more, or do you think we're just going to get like explanations of what they already talked about?
I expect at least cover reveals and some art reveals for these things, right? Because they were just names and titles, you know. Mm-hmm. Especially when you talk about the Hickman Spider-Man, right? It's Hickman Spider-Man, I think.
Yeah,
Hickman Spider-Man. Like, if you're reading that, like, we know it's not Peter. It's probably not Miles. Is this a new Spider-Man? Like those are things that we're hoping I get some answers here. So,
yeah, I'm hoping it's not just that. Like, I know we're gonna get a bunch of that, and I want to know more about this Chip Zdarsky Avengers thing. And I want to know more. I want to know less about the X-Men stuff, but
no, dude, X-Men has been so good right now. It's just so much money to like invest in it. That's the problem. It's not that it's bad, you know.
I'm curious about the end of the Hickman Krakoan era thing. I want to see how they put all the pieces back together. But outside of that, I've never been a X-Men guy.
Right.
So it really does very little for me. But I know you're a huge Magneto fan, so I know you're excited about that one.
Yes and no. I don't know. Like, modern Magneto is a hero, and though I don't mind Hero Magneto, he's a lot less fun than I'm gonna fuck your shit out. I'm gonna whip out Wolverine's, animentium. That's my Magneto. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the X-Men are weird right now because like there's a few villains still hanging around, but it seems like they just like brought in all the villains and made them a part of Krakoa. So
right, they're all good guys.
Yeah. I'm watching this live stream as we're going because I'm gonna pop it up when I feel it's appropriate. But
okay.
Can
you hear it on your end?
No, I got it muted right now, but
and you're still questioning whether or not this is the right one.
I'm very nervous. I got the wrong one.
Okay. Yeah, well, so back in the day, let's talk about New York Comic Con. Because you and I, how long have you been reading comics, Chris?
So I just turned 35, so let's say 20 years.
Okay, all right. So do you remember, probably 10 years, like the back 10 years of your early comics, when New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Cons were such a big deal on the internet, right? I would go and watch Bleeding Cool and Newsarama, and they would give me live updates as this shit was happening, right? They would give me the feeds and messages of what happens and the cover reveals. Like, that was my fucking weekend, man. Like, I missed that so much. Seeing those announcements and seeing it, and even someone who's in the industry, I still care so much,
Yeah, I New York and San Diego were always huge, and I'm always like constantly, especially now we do the show, constantly looking all weekend. What's going on?
Right.
And actually, this weekend's been huge. I mean, I know we're here to talk about Marvel, but
something's going to be going on because they just announced the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Are you behind, or what's going on?
I don't know. That was from earlier.
Okay. All right. Which, by the way, is cool. How do you feel about that? Do you like Steve Orlando's Scarlet Witch? Are you reading it, or because you're not an X-Men fan, you're not?
I've never been a Steve Orlando fan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Steve Orlando is killing it in this particular series. I am with you. He's hit or miss for me. I like his 2099 stuff. What I like about Steve Orlando, which I think that you would probably agree with me, like he loves continuity. So I love that about him because very few writers these days care about continuity.
Yes.
And like he's a stickler of continuity. I don't always think he picks the best parts of the continuity, but I do. I'm glad that he sticks to it and it matters.
He does. So he did the 29.9 stuff, and
Yeah.
I quickly was not into that.
Okay.
But just I don't know. Every time I try an Orlando book, I don't know. It never clicks with me very well. Except for what was it? Ordinary Gods? Was that his?
I'm not sure. I've never read his indie stuff. Like, did you read his Mad Cave book or any of that? I didn't read any of that.
No. Mad Cave was kind of a recent thing for me. I think it was around the time I read some of the Battle Cats, which was fun, but nothing to really go crazy about. And then it was really Nottingham that like put them on the map, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. And actually, I would honestly say and I would have never predicted this, that Mad Cave has taken down Scout and Source Point. I think Mad Cave is above Scout and Source Point now with the talent that they're getting right now with David Pepos and some of the stuff coming out like that's been announced. They've got Bob France and Skeeters, and they've got all that stuff coming, and now Dick Tracy. I'm not a big Dick Tracy fan, but I know so many people who are.
Yeah, I'm curious about that Dick Tracy book. We talked about a little bit last week on the show.
Okay.
And that's one of those books. I mean, I'll get a review copy of it, so I'll read it. Mm-hmm. But that is one of those books that curiosity would get the better of me, and I would probably buy it if I wasn't in this position. So It's cool. And then they just announced. Oh man, I was writing the notes for the show today because they announced 2 more books. They announced a creative team for Gatchaman and Flash Gordon, which I know aren't huge IPs, but like I think this is a big step for them to become an IDW level or Dynamite level publisher.
Well, if they don't add Ted to Flash Gordon, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, I won't read Flash Gordon. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Gatchaman's one I've always been curious about, and it's really hard to get into because it's an old manga series and an old anime, and it's not very accessible right now.
Right.
So I want to check that one out, especially I think Colin Bunn's doing the first issue for that.
Okay.
And I would also, it'd be nice if they were like to reprint the original stuff too.
Right.
If it's successful. But yeah, you made your comparisons. I've been saying they're filling the hole that I thought Aftershock was starting to take over.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they've elevated above Scout and Source Point. And I'm not saying that Scout and Source Point aren't doing great. Source Point's cutting their titles. There's less titles now than there used to be. And Scout is producing too many titles that there's no hit creators, right? If you go to Mad Cave, you could name David Zahn, and they're starting to get some names these are our guys that are doing stuff. And I think that's the show of health,
Also, they're doing the thing that Vault is doing really well too, which is quality.
Right.
So it's not about shotgunning as much as possible. It's let's pick 3 or 4 at a time, but guarantee that they are great books. And for the most part, they may not be for you, but all of their books are pretty freaking good.
I agree. So what's going on over there? What's going on?
So yeah, it doesn't start till 3:15, so we're a little early. That's probably why.
All right.
But
it's good. That's good.
Still a little nervous. I got the wrong live stream.
But we're still nervous. That's okay. It's okay to be nervous.
What'd you think of the Elseworlds announcement yesterday?
So here's my issue with it. It's is there butter, but it's all Batman, right? The things that I want to get when I think of Elseworld, like Gotham by Gaslight is fantastic. I'm glad it's 12 issues. But if you noticed, all the Batmans are year-long maxi series, and everything that's not Batman is like 4 to 6 issues.
So there's always going to be a Batman. I mean, DC is the Batman publisher. That's what they're there for.
Sure.
But
right,
dude, bringing back Dark Knights of Steel, for me, that was one of my favorite books last 2 years because if it would have come out on a normal schedule, I think it would have been much more highly praised. DC versus Vampires was a ton of fun. So for them to
is that part of is that going to be put on the Elseworld title? Like, I like that they're giving that to Rosenberg. Rosenberg absolutely kills it when he gets to play with continuity loosely. Like, I think Joker is probably one of my favorite books, and I think I don't like it every month. Like every month it's at the bottom of my stack. I'm just like, I'll read it later. Because, it doesn't matter. Like, he's not fighting Batman. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And then every time I read it, I was like, oh, that was really good. Like, damn it. I should really put it higher in my stack.
Yeah, so that is going to be a part of it. So that's huge for me. The Green Lantern book, I could probably take or leave. I'm not going to lie.
I actually was excited about the Green Lantern. In fact, I'm excited about both. This is not a New York Comic Con announcement, but in the recent previews, they have the Sandman, they have the Jay Garrett, the Flash, and then they have Alan Scott, Green Lantern. Yep. When I read the synopsis and found out that he's fighting Red Lanterns, I was like, oh, I'll probably read that now. I had zero interest in it, but now that he's fighting Red Lanterns, that one actually excited me even more, which was crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Sandman was a blast. I always love Sandman, so I'm down for that. Right. I was just reading through the other books. So we got Dark Knight Steel, we got DC vs. Vampires. So 2 not Batman-centric books, I would say.
Right.
Gotham by Gaslight, a Batman-centric book, but it's titled The Kryptonian Age. So I'm wondering if it's going to be Superman-centric. We'll see, but I guess that could go either way. And then you've got the 2 Batman books. So Batman Barbarian and Batman Nightfire.
Right. Yeah. Barbarian. So I have a warm place in my heart for Batman by Gaslight. I don't know if you know this, but my favorite comic of all time is Crimson #7. I think we may have talked about it, but that was done by Brian Augustus. That was Crimson, who did Batman by Gaslight, who is better known for, he's the one, even though Mark Waid wrote it, like, he was a guy who had the idea for what is it called? The Speed Force for Batman. Mm-hmm. He was the one who kind of created it, which, by the way, not a lot of people give credit. Most writers take editors' ideas and claim it. Mark Waid never did that with the Speed Force. He was just like, oh, that was the editor's idea. He's like, I put it into fashion. I made it a thing, but that was the editor's idea.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah.
So right now they're just they're showing off some Tony Stark toys. I don't know what's going on.
Selling some pops.
They're not pops. I don't know what the hell they are, but they're pretty hideous.
So the other things that I saw announced was some of the New York Comic Con like gossip behind the scenes is Frank Miller talking to Marvel, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Do you think Frank Miller is broke? Do you think like this Millerverse was like, dude, I need money. Like, I'm on my end, even though he looks healthier than he's dead in years. So please. But do you think he's like, I need one last little bit of like stuff before I kick the bucket?
I don't know. I want to believe, because Miller's one of my favorite creators of all time.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to believe that he's just a creative spirit and wants to keep going.
Right.
I'm reading Ronin too. It's okay.
Yeah, I read the first 3, and then I was just like, yeah, I didn't care the first time. Like, to be honest, Ronin's not my favorite of his work.
It's not my favorite, but I do love Ronin. I liked when he came back to Dark Knight Returns for the 3rd volume.
Okay.
It's still not the first one.
Sure.
But it's better than the second, which isn't a very high bar. I don't know. I'd be down. I kind of hope he gets the Jim Starlin treatment where he just gets to do like these weird things and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
You know, if that's what they do and he just puts out like OGNs or just like quick miniseries around like, I don't know, Daredevil or whoever he wants to do, I'll be there to check them out. I'll say that.
Like the stuff they're giving to Ron Mars right now. Here, you did some cosmic stuff. Here, play with the characters that nobody likes.
Well, that's the thing too. So the rumor I've heard behind the scenes is, and this isn't like anything exclusive to me. This has been around all over the place. Is that because Marvel's so shitty about giving out royalties, that this is their way of giving out royalties? It's just like, here, play with this, so we don't have to pay you for the movie. Maybe that's kind of what they're doing with Miller. Like,
Right.
Listen, we're gonna like steal all of your Daredevil stuff here soon.
Right.
So like, go make like something back in that continuity, and then it won't matter. And guys like this dude Chris on the internet will read it.
Well, I mean, getting the guy who did Daredevil Reborn back for Daredevil Reborn stuff like just makes sense. And I will argue that though I love Frank Miller's whole run, Daredevil Reborn, it's not called Reborn, right? Is it Reborn?
I think so.
Yeah, it is better. Like that's better. I think that was Frank Miller, like with full trust, with being able to do whatever you want and telling that origin story of Daredevil Electra. Like that is the most cohesion of all of Frank Miller's Daredevil run.
Let's see.
Oh, we got some stuff.
Oh no, I was looking up the Daredevil stuff. See, yeah, they've got it down as Daredevil by Frank Miller and Klaus Jensen right now.
I mean, Klaus Jensen's so fucking good. So
Born Again is what we're looking for.
Born Again, that's it.
Yes. I don't know how we both forgot that. We should probably quit this right now. Right. Yeah, you've been busy.
I have, yeah. We're launching. We got the scout release of Granite State Punk on Wednesday, which is pretty exciting. And then later this week we got Granite State Punk: The Coven, which I think is the best of the series. So I'm excited about that. Those, as you know, those are my favorite books. Those are my baby, and you appreciate it. Just right behind you, you got the big display of it right there. So you get it.
Yeah, I love that book. I've told you that a million times. You're ruining everybody else's good time on Kickstarter because I'm going to spend all my Kickstarter money on that.
It's true. And wait till you see what I'm doing with the denied Kickstarter for our cover, our messed up cover. You'll see. I got a plan for it. It's exciting.
He's got a plan, everybody.
It's got to be the best. I haven't told anybody but my wife. I'm not revealing it to the thing. So it's exciting. So are they telling us anything yet? Where are we at?
I mean, I could pull it up right now. It's like,
let's pull it up.
They're traveling to the cosmos on a surfboard looking for new planets to live stream on.
Oh, so they haven't got the feed up, or they're moving people in the room. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, but
let's leave it up though, so we can jump right to it when it's going. You know, we can keep talking, but let's leave it up to make sure that we're good.
I'm on their Twitter, if you will, and nothing's going on. They're still talking about, or they still just have the Quicksilver Scarlet Witch thing going.
Right. Which I'm excited about. I think when you have a chance to go back to that Scarlet Witch has never done a successful series ever. They've always sucked. This one's really interesting. So basically what it is she manifested a door. She wants to find value because of all the bad things she's done. And as she's trying to heal herself, she's like, I want to find value. So this door, it'll open only for someone who needs it. So people randomly come through the door, and it's like an adventure of the week of people who need it with a small ongoing plot, but not a big deal, which I think is cool. I wonder if you should show the chat. Maybe the chat will give us some information.
Showing chat.
No, that's just people doing
the shit. Top chat. Let's see the live chat.
Yeah, seeing if Marvel is posting. No.
I don't know. They're talking about these figures. Did they tell about Ultimate Spider? No, because they're doing it at the next big think panel. Dude. It changed.
Here we go.
Pop quiz.
All right, let's see.
All right, let's see if you can get it.
How did Bruce Banner become the strongest Hulk?
It's obviously the
D.
Terrigen
It's
mist.
D.
Jeez.
Dude, wouldn't it be awesome if it was? Right behind the gamma radiation machine is just a Terrigen mist.
Dude, it's so funny to me. As a Marvel apologist and lover, I was wrong, everybody.
Oh, damn it.
It's so funny to me that they tried so hard to make the Inhumans the new X-Men when they didn't have the rights. And now that they have it again, they're just like, hey, can we retcon that Terrigen mist shit that nobody cared about?
Yeah, like, and really the Magneto one, again, me being a Magneto head, like that's the biggest one for me. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you do? It's not the same. Like, biological kids and step kids are not the same, especially when in this new continuity, they're not even like step kids. They're just like kids he grabbed. Like, hey, kids, join the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You will now be my official kids. Like, because I told you. Like, that's just extra creepy. Like, and his one stepdaughter or biological daughter is like he wanted nothing to do with, with Polaris.
What was the name of the friend who first protected the Hulk?
Rick Jones, bitch.
So I've been watching this live stream for like about an hour now as I was writing up notes for the show. And some of these pop quizzes are comically easy.
Right.
Actually, all of them have been comically easy. One of them was literally like, where did Tony Stark build the first Iron Man suit? It was like in Atlantis, in this and that, in a cave. It's like, okay, guys.
There was one time I couldn't name. Someone asked me, I went into this deep dive. It was what was the question? The answer was Winter Soldier. But they asked, who's Roddy Barnes? And I went through the detail of his history and never said the Winter Soldier. Like I said, and then he's this, and now he was frozen, and then he came back. They're like, well, you didn't say Winter Soldier. I was like, but I knew every other thing. More pop quizzes.
All right.
What swarm enemy? Why is this all about the Hulk?
We're getting a big Hulk announcement. Hulk and Rom team up book. It's coming.
Well, I mean, to be fair, based on the way he's treated Betty Ross, it is Betty Ross, but we'll let it be Thunderbolt for the Marvel. Based on his treatment, it absolutely should be. He owes her a big fucking apology.
You're reading the new Hulk book, aren't you?
I am reading the new Hulk book. I don't like Hulk. I've never liked Hulk. I can tell you something else off the air, but I've never liked Hulk. What's interesting about it is it's a new telling of it, and it's kind of fixing some of those little problems that they're having, with the Donny Cates run. So
yeah, I feel bad about the recent Donny Cates stuff because obviously he had that accident. And
right, yeah. Now you feel bad. You're like, oh, all right. Well, maybe you could have done better.
Well, he didn't have a chance to really finish his stories and make him worth my time, quote unquote.
Right.
And so I give them a pass. Also, big Donny Cates mark. So
I wish it was the Green King. That sounds fantastic.
What was it called?
It's B.
Oh, the Green King. All right, Marvel, what the hell's going on?
Well, what if Hulk's new villain is called the Doormaster because of the green door thing, and then they have the Keymaster, and it's basically just a parody of Ghostbusters. It's just them talking about Ghostbusters over and over again.
Okay, I definitely have the wrong live stream now because we got a trailer for the end of the Krakoan Age.
Okay. I don't see that on my feed. Where are you looking? On Newsarama? Or on
I'm on Marvel's Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Unless this is delayed. But I've been Googling around people.
Could be. I just see this announcement that's 4 minutes old. You want to hear this one?
What's this?
John Constantine is back in a new Hellblazer miniseries, and he may be paying a visit to Sandman. Creative team Cy Spur, Aaron Campbell, and Jody Belair returns. That's kind of cool. It's got a cool cover here.
Which Sandman?
It's a part. It would be part of the Black Label imprint with the ongoing Sandman universe, so connected to all that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's called Dead in America.
Okay. I don't know.
And Cy Spur is good.
Let's see, what's this? Yeah, we got the wrong live stream.
All right.
So we got to figure out how to do this. That, or we're just going to talk about the announcements as they pop up.
As they pop up on Twitter.
So,
well, let's watch this trailer then.
Here, yeah, let's
bring up that trailer. You can new tab that in and let's see what's up.
Let's see what's going on.
That'll give us something to do for a minute.
Here we go. All right, you ready for this awesome
I'm
trailer?
I'm ready. Looks like Cyclops right there. Look at his head. He's laying on a trampoline. If you look to the left.
I don't know why it's taking so long to fucking load.
That's because it just got loaded and like everybody's trying to watch it.
Come on, Marvel. Get your shit together. There we go.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, you were right.
Wrong.
Hey.
Or is that Cyclops? That's young Cyclops.
He's an Inhuman. So wait, Tony Stark's an X-Men now?
Apparently. Oh, shit.
3 dead Magnetos.
Their greatest enemy. He has 5 helmets in that picture, but he's the greatest enemy.
There you go.
There's my boy.
Okay.
All right.
Here we got a nice promo picture.
Yeah.
It's the Juggernaut.
You know, Jerry Duggan, so I've read some of his X-Men, and he's a great X-Men writer. He just always has the X-Men that I don't give a shit about, so I don't read them. I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
I don't think I read any of his stuff when Hickman was doing it. But he's definitely a writer.
He's definitely a writer, yes. Yeah, here's what makes me laugh about this X-Men stuff. Like, I thought in the original run, you remember how it's all had all the Phelan X stuff? I thought when Professor X removed that helmet, like he was going to be a Phelan X the whole time, and this was all like some crazy thing, which would have been better than what they're doing now. But yeah,
I'm just surprised they didn't take the easy out and just have Moira X like reset the timeline.
Oh, I think that's coming. I think that's still a thing. But you know what? That Moira X thing, you know, it just shows the genius of Hickman. Hickman's like, have you ever paid attention to X-Men? There's a lot of continuity flaws, you guys know. Mostly Claremont's fault, but you know, other people as well. You know how I can fix that? How? Moira McTaggart's a mutant. What? Like, can you imagine that X-Men's that summit?
Yeah. So this is how little freaking X-Men I read. When that happened, I remember everybody's freaking out, and I was like, I don't get it. What's the big deal here? And all the X-Men fans were just looking at me like, listen.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. We got some more stuff.
All right.
I believe that's all the stuff we saw at the trailer. Okay. So apparently they're talking about that. Still can't find where the fuck this thing is, even though I see all these articles about how to watch it. If anyone can help me. Let's see. What's going on over here? They're talking about toys on their freaking...
On their feed, they're back talking about toys?
Yeah, they're talking about toys. Videos.
Have you seen everybody mad at Rob Liefeld for having like a crazy expensive signing thing? Like, that makes me mad. Don't sign. If it makes you mad that Rob Liefeld costs so much to sign, then just don't get your stuff signed by Rob Liefeld.
I agree with you there. I think it's stupid. I would never pay that much. I mean, I don't like Liefeld to begin with. I think he's kind of a dick. But I wouldn't pay that much for Liefeld.
Sure.
So it doesn't really affect me that much, but I do think he's kind of riding a wave right now, and good on him. Get as much money as he can, I guess. I also think it's hilarious that he's like, I'll give him credit on this one. The fact that he's leaning into big boobs Captain America is pretty hilarious to me.
Yeah. And that's his thing, man. Like, you know, he decided to lean into that instead of doing more Bloodstrike or Youngblood or whatever. You know, he was like, yeah, I'm just going to come out with a, Cap with a proper chest.
With a proper chest. Let's see.
Oh,
we got something new. Let's watch it.
Infinity Pause.
The time is upon us. Prepare thyselves for battle most fierce and awesome. This spring, the biggest heroes of the Marvel Universe assemble for the crossover of the century. Marvel Comics presents Infinity Pause.
Oh, it's just Infinity Comics, though.
Oh, boo.
And if you're going to have that, shouldn't you have bats like Doctor Strange's dog?
Should.
And who I would like to see, I can't think of his name right now, but what is Speedball's cat's name?
Speedball has a cat? I didn't even know that.
Speedball has a cat who has Speedball's powers. You didn't know that? Yeah, Speedball has a cat, and it has Speedball powers.
Niles?
Well, that's why.
Niels?
Could be a good crossover with Fraser right now, though. Fraser's back, so.
Oh, God.
My mother-in-law watched the first two episodes of that, and I said, did they go to Cheers? She's like, no, not yet. Not interested. Not interested.
So Frasier's a fine show. I've never watched the whole thing. It's whatever, but I don't know. Do we really want to see what like old man Frasier's up to? I guess somebody does.
And he started out as an old man, let's be honest. Like from Cheers, he was the old man.
But then I'm a complete hypocrite because they're talking about there's like rumors about Seinfeld coming back, and you know I'm all about that.
Sure. Well, let me tell you a theory that me and my wife have. Are you a fan of Larry David's show, Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Oh yeah.
Well, so you know the episode that they did inside the show, like the reunion that they did inside the show?
Yes.
My wife and I have a theory that they actually filmed an episode. Because you have all the set, you have them all at a decent prime. I believe that when Larry dies, whatever they filmed, that there's a full episode that they filmed, because based on the scenes that you saw there, and so, like, why not just go the extra like couple of film shoots to have a whole episode, you know?
Might as well, yeah.
You know, if you have all the sets, you've built everything, you know, why not? So I believe that's what he, and Heather and I believe that that's what he's saying. Like that's what he's kind of talking about. But I don't know.
That's so disappointing. This is Infinity Comics thing.
You're super excited to see more Jeff. Are you a big Jeff fan?
I haven't read any Jeff, but I'm down for Pet Avengers however I can get them.
I have not bought the Kyle Stark's Pet Avengers yet. It is on my list. I'm just waiting for a small week to get it. The positive is I know it's not going to leave the shelf, so I'll be safe.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a big fan of it, you know it's not selling. It's a fun book, though. I mean, Doctor Strange's dog's in it.
The guy Hurtghost is in there, yeah.
We get the 10th layer of hell. You didn't know there was a 10th layer, did you?
I did not.
Yeah, well, you do now.
All right. What's our refresh? Come on, they've got to get something.
That was the refresh right there.
Oh, all right.
There's your nice cover for the Infinity Comics.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make that a thing, David Pepose.
It's pause thing. It's possum. It's possum. Everyone knows it's possum.
It's okay. It'll be printed because, you know, the Infinity Comics that were made specifically for digital and can only be read in a digital format all seem to get printed in a print format anyways. So,
right. And then even sometimes several times, like that Jessica Jones, that Jessica Jones book came out as an original graphic novel, and it didn't sell well, so they went to singles after that. And I was just like, what is going on? Like, you are doing this way ass backwards.
Yeah. I tested it for a little while, and it's whatever. And the problem is they're not putting a whole lot in. This is probably the most interesting thing they put out. No offense to everyone who's creating stuff on there. Oh, something new popped up. Here we go.
Something big?
Senator Rogers. He was once Captain America.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that's funny because when this was announced, my prediction for it was, do you remember that Justice League book that Chip did?
Yeah.
Where it was the last Justice League story or whatever?
Right, exactly.
And that was my prediction for this. And that says to me.
Seems pretty close.
Yeah.
I was just so ecstatic because when I saw Chip's name, I really, really, really thought, like, once Daredevil's gone, like, he was only not exclusive to finish his run at Daredevil, and like he was gone from Marvel. So I'm super excited to have that. And I think Chip is a better Marvel writer than DC. Not that I don't love his Batman, but I think I think he really gets the Marvel Universe. Even just Howard the Duck, like when he was making fun of the Marvel Universe, he just kind of gets it a little bit, you know?
Yeah, his Batman's been good. I liked all the Batman stuff he did. The Justice League book was okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go even further. I think it was bad. I don't think it was.
Oh, really?
Book. Yeah, I don't think the Justice League one was that great. When you are unhinged, right? You're not in continuity. You can do whatever the hell you want. I felt it was a little weak.
I think I understand why he probably won't do it, because he wants to get away from being I've heard him talk about like when he went from Howard the Duck to Daredevil, right, and how there was like this stigma inside the writer's room that like he was the jokey guy, like he made the joke comics. Sure. And then for him to take that over, people were kind of blown away by it. So I understand why he probably won't do this, but if he's sticking with DC, I'd like to see him do like a Blue and Gold book or something JLI adjacent.
Yeah.
In that world, because I think he would fit really well there. But
yeah, no, I'm with you. It's not going to happen, but I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. All right. The future needs to be avenged. So that's cool. I mean, kind of a cyberpunk Avengers thing.
What I like about it is that logo looks like that really great original graphic novel from a couple of years ago. Like, here, let me go grab it.
I think I got it.
What's up? I gotta remember the name.
Is it Rage of Ultron? No, it's not.
Yes, that's it.
It is Rage of Ultron? Yeah, it's on the shelf behind me.
That's Rick Remender, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. It showed up, Rick Remender, and you're like, oh shit. Like, original graphic novels can be good, because prior to that, they tried all these things. And I will even say DC fails too. Like, no one really, they like those, like Batman Year One, like Earth One and all that. All those things were okay, but they're not amazing. Like, but Rick, that Rage of Ultron was like one of the ones that are like, oh shit, like this is really good. I wish this came out monthly.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up Earth One. So there's like been a rumor going around that DC is going to announce some big Ultimates level universe thing.
Yeah, which I think is a good idea for them, to be honest.
Yeah, so they're going to bring back Earth One, is what you're telling me.
I hope it's Earth One.
I mean, that's what Earth One was. It's funny to me that everybody's just like, oh, Marvel finally have competition in this field. And I'm like, yeah, DC did this already. And it was good. It wasn't as good as Ultimates was, in my opinion. But
and I think it's because people tend to forget the back end of Ultimate Universe was kind of normal, but the beginning was all about shock value, from like Scarlet Witch and like Quicksilver doing it to like Reed Richards betraying the Fantastic Four. Like, it was all about shock value in the Ultimates, like Thor being who he was and all that. Like, it was all about shock value early on, and then towards the end it got less like that, you know?
Yeah. So the people out there watching, we couldn't find the actual live stream, so we're just reacting to our Marvel's Twitter right now.
Like you do.
Yeah. Like you do. So we figured we'd give you something, and I think it's been fun so far.
Yeah, I think this works.
No, I liked, the reason I liked the Ultimate Universe was because, well, one, I was getting in at the right time, so it was all kind of brand new.
Right.
And it did provide a jumping on point, but then as it went along, not only did a lot of the creative teams stick around, so it's kind of a bygone era, if you ask me. We're like, I don't think we'll ever get those long runs again, because creators tend to peter off, and for good reasons in a lot of cases, because they go off to make their own stuff and either make good money or just be creative, or whatever they're doing. And you got these long runs. I mean, Bendis was on Spider-Man for the entirety. Like, does anyone really think that's going to happen again? What was it, like almost 200 issues?
Yeah, well, the other thing is too is it was the best in the business, right? Mark Millar was the best in the business. Robert Kirkman, when he became big, was thrown on X-Men. You know, like these were the best of the best. So you knew you were getting quality comics, and I think the creators were excited to be there, and they were willing to take risk. You know, remember the fall of Magneto, where they killed Magneto, and but before Magneto died, he took over New York and like murdered a bunch of people and like they were not they were doing things that needed to be done. And I will even say this new run is just as good. Like it has been really, really good. Hickman's Ultimate Universe, every issue I'm excited about. There's always a new twist to it. I love the Maker. I think the Maker is one of the best things that came out of the Ultimate Universe, and I'm so happy he's still around causing fucking havoc.
Yeah. And I'm glad Hickman's doing it. I think they were going to try to recreate the magic with Donnie, because the reports out there that Donnie was supposed to be the one doing the Ultimate stuff.
Well, even though it absolutely was, because I heard an interview with the artist. I can't think of the artist's name right now, and he said somebody else is supposed to be writing it, and he's like, "There's a hint of it in it. Go grab your Ultimate Universe #1. There's a thank you, Donnie Cates in it."
Yeah.
So like it was Donnie, like 100%. Donnie's never said it was him, but it was fucking him. Like,
so I think Marvel's plan was to have Donnie helmet, and that was going to be his chance to do Spider-Man.
Right.
And we all know Donnie said that he wouldn't leave Marvel until he had a chance to write Spider-Man. So that was going to be his shot. And then probably bring in other people of that level, like, you know, probably a Chip or name another creator to try to get them on the long haul to create this universe again and give them their own thing. And that was the other thing I loved about the Ultimate Universe was everything kind of mattered to a point. I mean, we did get to a point where it was too much and we had to retcon a few things, but for the longest time there was like events mattered.
Right.
And when shit happened, it stuck. And that was cool. It was fun. And to try to recreate that, I'm so down for it. That's actually the one I'm waiting for them to talk about the most. Yep, still Avengers Twilight.
Yeah,
but Avengers Twilight, I mean, I'm really excited for that. I love Chip. Akuna's art's always fun. I think they got a cool vibe here. I'm down.
I love these things that aren't in continuity that are done by all-star teams. Because it's not something because when something like this happens, it wasn't that Marvel needed this, right? Marvel didn't need this at all. They were like, hey, we'd like to do something unique with with outside of continuity Avengers story. Would you be interested, Chip? Probably just what you said. They saw he did JLA. Hey, would you do something similar with Avengers? Would you be interested? And then Chip probably said, no, I just kind of did it over and then thought about it over a weekend and was like, okay, I got an idea.
Yeah. Kind of like when Tom Taylor came over and did that post-apocalyptic Marvel event.
Right. Exactly. Because that's kind of what they're doing, right? Is they get all these people to do these cool crossovers at events and, try to build up inventory and like build up, buzz, because this book is going to have some buzz. Chip coming back tomorrow. He feels like it's not like he really left because he was only like it's only been a month. Yeah, but yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm excited about it.
It did feel like you're right. It did feel like he kind of left, and I'm having the same kind of crises personally with Jason Aaron leaving.
Right.
Like Jason Aaron's one of my favorite writers as well, and for him to jump over to DC, he's doing Superman now. He's doing a Batman book, because that's what you do at DC.
Right.
And
I mean, that's all they can offer you.
And for him to leave, especially, like, he was at Marvel for so long, and I get it creatively, like, all right, let's try something new. But as a fan, it was huge. I was like, oh shit, like Jason's doing this now, and I'll follow him to DC. But I always wanted the Jason Aaron long Daredevil run,
right?
Or something. But there's also that thing at Marvel where when you do that long Avengers run, that's kind of your crescendo. And he got that, and it, hit or miss. There's things about it I really liked, things I didn't like, but he did it, and I think he put so much into it. He just needed to do something different.
Well, and you know what? I'm not a DC guy. I do read some DC, but I'm even less a Superman guy. We can watch that in just a second.
Yep.
But what I am excited about in that particular vein is we've got Jason Aaron's doing like an ongoing like one shots in the Superman universe, like using the characters, because I do feel that that's what DC needs. Batman characters, everybody loves them. Everybody loves Nightwing. Everybody loves Batgirl. They love Birds of Prey. They love Robins. They love that. Superman can't seem to get them to stick, even though they're cool. I think Steel's cool as shit. I like Steel. I like Connor Kent Superboy. I don't like the most recent miniseries. That was bullshit. But I do like Connor Kent. So Supergirl, hit or miss. I think getting them their one shots, kind of like trying to fix Superman and not just trying to fix it in the main title, is the secret to fixing Superman, because they keep going. Bendis. Okay. All right. You don't like Bendis. That's fine. Joshua Williams. Okay. All right. Philip Kennedy Johnson. Okay. All right. Mark, who's going to fix it? It's not about Superman. It's about his extended universe to make him work.
Yeah. And I like what Williamson's doing.
Yeah.
Personally, this is what I said when Jeff Johns was announced to take over JSA. I don't want Mark Waid back on Superman.
Right.
I want new blood. Mark Waid did Superman really well. Really well. I'm not taking that away from him. But like, I've heard what he has to say about Superman. So for them to say like Jason Aaron's doing it and then this guy's doing it and so on, I'm like, okay, new blood. Let's see what they got. Because I personally really like Superman for a while now.
I think it's just the world's finest. I haven't read it yet, but from what I hear, it was, nominated for the Ringo this year, and like it won something, and like from what I understand, it's so good. Like
it's
everybody
really
needs to read it.
It's really good.
So I probably need to go back and read it. But let's see this. Let's see the Gods. I like the first issue of the Gods. Did you?
I was just gonna ask you if you read it. I did. I thought it was fun.
I like these characters. I'm excited.
In my head, I'm just like, okay, where's this going?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Because it's a one shot, and it's a heavy one shot, man.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It was worth the $10 I spent. It was good.
100%. Yeah. All right, let's see what God says for us.
When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was desirable for the gaining of both knowledge and wisdom, she took it and ate it, and her eyes were opened. Powerful stuff. But here's the question that'll really blow your hair back, Mia. Was the juice worth the squeeze?
Is your hair blown back?
I feel that Hickman didn't write that
to
line.
The library, the real one. A library of worlds.
Cubist core is a reprogrammed, born-again vessel of the in-betweener. The waves of his actions are neither singular nor without resonance. We believe all the lesser gods are moving, which implies the greater gods are preparing to. The question is, are ours?
I think you have the wrong person.
I am what is called a centaur, one of the 100 centum who serve what this universe calls science. You, Mia de Maria, are on the other end of that spectrum, a creature of magic.
Look closely, child. See my face and see the inevitable ash of annihilation. For I am the end, and my time is now.
I feel like I just took an acid trip.
Yeah, I'm all in. I think that this is really exciting. I think this is what they wanted the Eternals to be, and it just didn't. It's not making it. So I think Marvel wants a third, kind of a fourth wing. Why is there 2 trailers there?
There's a new trailer. We're gonna talk about that in a
second. I don't even want to talk about Gods now that I've read that. Anyways, I think Gods is such an interesting thing. I think it's a wing of Marvel that Marvel's been really good at. It's been X-Men, Avengers, Spidey, like those. That's the Trinity, and nothing. And then you've got Cosmic to the side, but Cosmic is not working for a real long time. It hasn't been working really since, probably Guardians of the Galaxy, David Abbott, when they were doing the Annihilation stuff. It really hasn't valued, and they keep trying the Eternals. They keep trying Inhumans. I think, but I think they've been messing with magic, with the Doctor Strange Academy stuff, and I think that this is just the next evolution on making magic a bigger thing in the Marvel universe.
I somewhat agree. So I've always loved the cosmic Marvel stuff.
Sure.
That's like my favorite corner of the Marvel universe. I think it's been up and down since 6 to 10 years now. And they haven't quite found their groove. Once again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but that was another thing that Donnie was working on.
Right.
And now I was really digging his plans, and now that's kind of not gone to the wayside, but now somebody else is trying to figure out how to make it work because they set up so much and they got to give a return on some of it.
Right.
And I just think Inhumans have never worked. There's some good series for the Inhumans, but they've always been this thing that they can't quite figure out. It has some cool ideas, but just never works. So this is definitely him trying to figure something out here and to really bring magic and all that to the forefront because people love Doctor Strange now. Like the movies did it, and we need to figure something out to make it a bigger deal in Marvel, and this is how they're doing it. And I've told everyone that first issue is really good. I don't know how accessible it is to like non-Marvel readers, but it's really fucking good. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, I would have, if I bought that as an image book and because if you remove Doctor Strange, you wouldn't know that it's a Marvel book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be I would be praising it to the moon about like, this is my favorite new book.
Yeah.
It being in the Marvel universe actually makes it cooler because I was like, oh, we don't know shit, but yes, let's go.
All right, let's talk about.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Look at this dude. Look at this dude right here. Should I press play?
Yes.
All right. I wonder who this is. He looks angry.
Captain America. Damn it. Look at how jacked he is.
That was fucking sexy. And the universe begins. Oh. That's cool. Oh, it's a radioactive spider.
And this must break Johnny's heart. Come on.
That's a lot of Spider-Man. Interesting.
Okay.
Hold up. I'm going to turn off the volume, but I want to
let's
go
watch
back
that
to some of these.
watch
Oh,
that
here we go.
end. Okay.
So we got Spider-Man with Hickman and Chichetto,
Yeah.
which, dude, Chichetto on that, I'm stoked.
So great.
Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli on Black Panther. Okay.
Yep. I'm good.
Peach Momoko on Ultimate X-Men.
That is my least favorite. I was not a fan of her little X-Men, little whatever the fuck she was doing. Like I read a little bit of it. And I was like, cool, but we'll see.
I think it's a ballsy move, personally.
It is a ballsy move. And, my statement separated, Peach Momoko sells books. Like,
yeah, so she's doing, because she's doing a Star Wars book here soon, too, that I'm kind of interested in. But
so we got a one shot.
So yeah, this is the one shot coming out soon. That's actually issue 5 of the Ultimate Invasion book. Yeah, so we're doing this. So first, I want to point out the Ultimate Universe logo. I fucking love that. The Spider-Man one, really cool. I'm wondering, I'll definitely pick up Spider-Man. X-Men will probably pique my curiosity. Let's see.
I probably won't get. The X-Men. I actually keep skipping Black Panther over and over again whenever there's a new launch of Black Panther, and I keep skipping it. I think like I owe it its due now. So I'll probably get it for that. And I like Brian Hill a lot. I think he's very talented. His Blade has been fantastic. So
that's right. He is doing Blade. So I have really liked that book. So we've got 3 books as part of the Ultimate lineup. And I'm going to say not other than Spider-Man, not the other 2, not the ones I expected.
Right.
So here we got some. I'll probably pick up all 3.
And look, you got the Ankh there, so I wonder if it'll tie in with Moon Knight. I wonder if they're gonna do some Moon Knight shit, because that makes me feel like there's some Moon Knight shit there.
That's I'm now noticing that, and that is a definite pickup. I like the design. It's definitely Ultimate.
Yeah, that X-Men tells you nothing about that book or what characters will be in it. Is that armor? I don't know.
Yeah, and it still has that Japanese flair or like feudal Japan thing that she's been doing with her X-Men stuff.
I wonder if they're going to retcon all that into X-Men.
I mean, it'd be different. I'll give it that.
It would definitely be different. But that being said, that we already know that mutants exist in the Ultimate Universe because we have Colossus, we have Omega Red, we have Psylocke, we have Illyana in this new universe.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm definitely intrigued by this one. It's the other 2 are like, yeah, I'm gonna pick them up. I'll probably enjoy them. This is like the wild card. Right. So it's almost the most interesting to talk about because I don't know much about it right now.
Right.
But just based on Peach Momoko doing it, it's like it's a move, yeah. And Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
That is what I'm most excited about. And with it being Doom, it could be Peter because Doom has time travel. So Doom may know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be Peter. I wouldn't be shocked if it's Miles because, the Maker has an affinity for Miles. Like that's been shown over and over again.
Yeah, he wanted to bring Miles back with him.
Correct. He wanted to, he gave Miles the lifeline and Miles was not interested in that. So it could be Miles. But what I would love is a new Spider-Man, a brand new Spider-Man, maybe with, Doom giving him the basics. Here's the web shooters. Here's your suit.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'll say my first thoughts. The logo, interesting. I don't know if I like it or not yet. In terms of the one on his chest. I think it's important here, based on this image alone. This is an adult Spider-Man.
It's an adult Spider-Man, and it is clearly not a new costume. So that it's influenced,
Yeah. So I think we're going Peter on this one. I'm down with you. I think it would be way more interesting to just create a new character and see where we can go. And but it's gonna be Peter. There's just no way.
Yeah, it looks like Peter, but again, what kind of Peter do you have? You know, because a Peter who is encouraged not to. Oh, what do we got here? Is that a new one?
So that's the same Gods trailer.
No, at the top. It was a bite. Take a bite.
Yep. I'm just looking through some more God stuff.
Oh, you got some.
Yeah, we don't need.
What do you think was up with the switching costumes? Yeah, that's interesting too. What is that all about?
I don't.
Let's go back to see those costumes that were switched through.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that. That's actually a good point. We don't need volume for this.
By the way, I'm dropping Thor, Immortal Thor. I can't. I don't like it.
It's getting one more issue for me.
You're gonna go to 3? I went to 2. I'm done at 2. I was done at 1, and then it appeared in my folder, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll do one more.
I'll give it 3 because I remember I dropped Immortal Hulk after 2 issues.
Oh, okay.
And then learned that I was dead wrong on that one.
So, and who's that? Like, who's that? Iron Man?
that was another thing too, because Kang is Tony.
Right.
So yeah, who's this guy? Because that was Iron Lad.
Right.
Yeah, new era. Okay, right here. So we got
Black suit.
The opposite black suit.
Ben Reilly.
Is this Ben Reilly?
I mean, it could be Spider-Man of that era, but it's either Ben Reilly or the stuff. They both wore that suit, kind of.
Okay.
2099. 2099.
Which is the one where it kind of throws me off because what's he doing here? And then back to Peter.
But specifically not Miles, which is interesting. So there's a reason why they showed those particular ones.
Yeah. It's oh.
What if it's someone in the O'Hare family, like a younger O'Hare family, like a legacy of O'Hare?
That'd be cool.
Maybe big on building a legacy character through O'Hare. I don't know. We'll see.
What if you brought up time travel, right?
Oh, well, I mean, we've got Doom. So we've got Doom specifically. It's time travel's involved, and we know Kang is heavily involved. Yeah. And, that's what Marvel's doing right now.
So what if they're bringing different Spider-Men from different timelines, and it's going to be multiple Spider-Men?
Dude, that would be kind of dope. Like,
I don't know.
Imagine this. It's like a Heroes for Hire. There's a button, and a Spider-Man will appear if a Spider-Man's needed. Like it's somebody who can summon multiple Spider-Mans into this timeline.
Yeah, or it's like if you watched episode 1 of Loki. I haven't watched episode 2 as of right now, but Loki just kind of like freaks out and goes back in time.
Mm-hmm.
And what if like it's just that, but just a different Spider-Man appears, and they're just like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" It's like in the middle of fighting the Rhino, like just and then.
Yeah, I was thinking of Spider-Man the other day. I realized that because the most recent issue of Venom, we have Black Widow in the suit, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like now, like back in the day, Spider-Man couldn't handle it because he was going to die if he wore the suit, right? If he kept wearing it, it was going to kill him. Now everyone can wear a Venom suit. It's not a problem anymore. Like it no longer kills people. Like shouldn't Eddie Brock be going, "Hey son, I have a rage problem, and that's why I don't die. You probably shouldn't wear this." Like, shouldn't that have been the first knock? Because wasn't that the whole thing? Like, the only reason why he could have it is he has so much rage and testosterone that it won't kill him. Like, that was kind of the thing.
But then we can't have a billion different Venoms.
I guess. All right. Anyway,
let's see what Blood Hunt's all about.
Well, it's Jed McKay, so I'm all in, regardless of what this fucking
and
is.
Pepe Larraz, the best name in all of comics. Sold. Doing vampires, I'm all in. Oh, it's Avengers too.
But it looks like it's in continuity based on the
Are they
Avengers.
going back to the Vampire Nation?
Right?
Who will bite it? I love it.
All right.
If we're doing Vampire Nation shit, like I'm all in.
You know, that's another thing. You know, we talked about what's Marvel's been able to make work. Yeah, see, this is all modern continuity. Look, we've got the current Thor. We've got that's the current Avengers that he's doing. That's play. It's interesting that it's in Doctor Strange was he's doing. It's interesting though that it's not that there's no Moon Knight. I know Moon Knight's dying per se, but
yeah, we're getting that new Moon Knight.
No.
Yeah. But Blade, obviously. You're doing vampires, you gotta have Blade.
By the way, have you ever looked at the legacy number of the recent most Blade series?
No.
It's like 24, which is hilarious. And I was like, oh, that's funny. I feel like you don't need legacy numbers till it's over 50, but good for you, Blade. You're making it. You're gonna make it.
Blade deserves more love. So this is obviously an event book. Right?
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be like the Gang Wars, like Spidey event book, not like a real event.
Well, I mean, that's what Marvel's been doing a lot, is these events that are inside of a circle. So like the one you Gang Wars is the Spider-Man event book, but it is an event book across the entire universe. Like it's gonna affect shit everywhere. And I think this is the same thing. It's just an Avengers event book. But I am so fucking down for this. Dude, these vampire designs are cool.
Yeah.
And we need more Dracula in Marvel. And I'm sorry, it's cheesy, but the tagline, who will bite it? I'm down.
Tigro. Because that's the other one no one cares about. Calling it now.
What is...
And, you know, here's what upsets me. There's a Blade crossover and Jubilee's still not involved. Like, poor Jubilee. She gets no respect.
But Scarlet Witch is involved. Your girl over here.
That's my girl. But, again, because that's his Avengers team.
Yeah. Like, what's going on with Vision over here? Like...
Yeah, like, why are they fucking with Vision so bad? Like, they can't even eat him. Like, he's not even that. Like, that's not useful to vampires. Vision is not useful to the vampire bloodhound.
Oh, this dude right here, DC better than Marvel. You gonna fight him?
I mean, he's wrong, but
dude, the comments are hilarious.
Yeah, someone comes to the Marvel Entertainment and says, "Hey, DC's better." Just cool.
Yeah. Let's see what we got on the trailer. Yeah, some Israel stuff.
That's probably it, because that was the last that they didn't announce that one before. So that's kind of their surprise, I would assume.
Yeah, it's the big surprise. Because we're getting near the end, but what? So
okay, all right. So there some of the stuff said at the con. They're teasing new Ultimate book. Hickman called it Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Peter B. Parker, and said it was Midlife Peter.
Okay.
And tweeted Ultimate Moon Knight and check out the moon in the Black Panther cover. Yeah. We mentioned the moon in the back cover. Yeah, Moon Knight's definitely in that. And I think crossing Moon Knight and Black Panther was a natural evolution of those characters, because I feel that they fit very well together as like a counter, like yin and yang. That may be racist because there's a white and black, but I do feel like they kind of have their same motif, but they're both, their gods are similar, their origins are similar. Like everything connects those two characters.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So I'm gonna go on. So I got Newsarama here. I'm sorry, I got Games Radar. Why is it going?
It's just they sold.
Oh, they bought each other. That's why. Let's see what CBR has. I don't think. Yeah, they're talking about Blood Hunt. Come on, Marvel. Announce a ROM book already.
If they were going to do that, I don't think it would be here.
It would be.
It would be. Do you know if they own ROM out right now, or they're just still using the license?
The current deal that people know about is that they're able to reprint old ROM books and Micronauts,
which I think is super important for, like, you know, not a lot of people know it, but like there's trades that are missing ROM issues in X-Men because he was stuff. On Bleeding Cool, Mark Brooks revealed that there's a return to the X Mansion, which I think is probably a good start. So that's cool. And Superman's 850th anniversary. He's not that old, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, issue 850. That makes more sense.
So real quick, because I know you're a tabletop guy.
Yeah.
Palladium Books has announced they are re-releasing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness.
Yep. Which is super interesting because I'm going to go deep here. So that Palladium Ninja Turtles is super interesting because it had a conversion in the back to convert it to World of Darkness, like the vampire stuff, because at the time, like, World of Darkness wasn't a big deal. So like they kind of did him a solid. So I'm kind of curious of how all that'll plan out. There's also, if this is possible, that means there's a Street Fighter one, because there is a Street Fighter White Wolf book, which is fantastic. But I'm going to buy it, and I recommend everyone buy it because it's got kind of some cool stuff in it. Like it's got like a what would that be called? The Marvel Universe guides for Turtles, which is cool.
I've played it before. It's a really fun system.
Yeah.
So I recommend it to people.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter too, which is cool.
Yeah. So let's see. On Marvel's website. Springing out of Hickman's, blah, blah, blah. 3 new series. Launching there this year. Okay, so we got that. So here's straight from Marvel's website, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Revolutionary writer Jonathan Hickman and acclaimed artist Marco Checchetto bring you a bold new take on Spider-Man. Nobody cares. The world needs a hero who will rise up, take on the responsibility, prepare for the mystery and excitement. I don't know what that means. For Ultimate Black Panther, in the wake of Ultimate Invasion, Khonshu and Ra, the force known together as Moon Knight. I don't think that's correct, but seeking to expand their brutal control.
Maybe in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah. So I guess they're together to make Moon Knight.
Yes.
But expand their brutal control over the continent of Africa. Fucking white guys going for Africa again. In response, the lone bulwark against them, the isolated nation of Wakanda will send forth its champion. So Black Panther versus Moon Knight. That's kind of cool. Huh?
See, what I would have done, again, this is what I would have done if I was writing Black Panther. I would have had Wakanda not a thing and just had it be a guy from Africa, and then he makes Wakanda. Because I think there's good story there that they haven't done. You know, done the opposite of what they normally do. So it's just a guy from Africa who wants to bring back values and stuff and hide it from the world. So he makes Wakanda. Because, I mean, that's the one Black Panther book we haven't seen, right? The origin, like how they made Wakanda. Like, let's do that and do it in the modern setting.
Yeah, and the Ultimate Universe would be a good place to do it, but that's not what we're doing.
Polar Bear.
Right.
So apparently Polar Bar knew where the fucking thing was because he's giving us insight here. It says Hickman describes Peach Momoka's X-Men as such a unique take you couldn't even pitch it. Is that because Peach doesn't speak full English? Is that why?
So I've got straight from their website. Visionary creator Peach Momoka. Let me hide this real quick. Reinvents mutant kind for the ultimate age. In Japan, when a young student named Hisaka Ichiki develops armor powers, she discovers she's a mutant. And she's not the only one. Meet a new generation of mutants filled with original and familiar X-Men characters. Together, they will learn what it means to be a mutant in the Ultimate Universe as they explore their emerging power and the startling ways they connect to folklore, legend, and magic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, just a random thing. Brian Hitch, he has a clause in his contract that there is no page count that he is connected to. He can do whatever amount of pages he wants on a book, which is super interesting.
Huh.
So, and he actually points out very often, like in the Ultimate, because there are various page counts of the Ultimates. Like, if he feels like he needs more pages to tell what Hickman wrote, he'll just add more pages.
It's crazy. All right, so these writers of these websites haven't been writing anything about them. What the hell are they doing? It's been like 5 minutes since it ended.
Right?
Even Marvel's website, when you go to it, so we're on the comics section. Oh, I don't want that. They've only got the Ultimate stuff and Infinity Paws, if you're interested.
I've heard good things.
Gang Wars, yeah. So I think that's it.
I think that's it. I mean, it makes sense. The Blood Hunt was not announced, and they do it. Isn't it sad that you and I've read comics enough that Blood Hunt were like, oh, but that's going to be a mini event. It's not a real event. Like, it's not like is that what was the latest event that Marvel did? I can't even think of it. What was this year's event? What was the summer event this year?
That's a great question. I forgot.
That shows how good it was.
I mean, to me, it's the Ultimate Invasion, but that's not an event.
Right, but yeah, that's not what it was. What was the event? Wasn't Jason Aaron's Avengers? That was its own thing.
No. Oh, man.
There was an event this year. I just don't remember what it was.
Marvel Comics event 2023. Oh, I should probably put event comics. Dark Web?
I mean, I guess, but that was really just, it affected just Spider-Man, you know? Maybe they didn't have one this year.
So, yeah, Dark Web, Sins of Sinister, so an X-Men event. Captain America Cold War wasn't an event.
I guess Dark Web is probably the closest because it did have crossovers.
Summer of Symbiotes. That was their big thing. It was dumb. I mean, I don't like it, but
so Marvel did not do it. No, yeah,
dude.
I think it's funny. They're like, why is Venom and Connor's not selling well? Is it because Donnie's not? No, it's because you fucking put Symbiotes everywhere, so we don't give a shit anymore. Red Goblin and like I read them all. I read them all because I will always read them all because I've decided when I was 12 years old or 13 years old, whatever, fucking Venom came out, that I'm all in forever. Once Maximum Carnage came out, I was like, holy shit, like I'm all in, And the Super Nintendo game, Chris, was red. It was red. All the other ones were gray, but it was red.
Listen, Zelda was gold.
Zelda was gold, but so I was all in.
So you said this earlier. They're teasing new Ultimate books. Hickman called the Ultimate Spider-Man Ultimate Peter B. Parker, and said it was a midlife Peter. What do you think about a 40-something-year-old Peter?
I think that we've already seen it with J.J. Abrams' Spider-Man. Remember? And it wasn't that great.
Oh, the Spider-Man book?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah. No, yeah, his kid wrote it or something.
Yeah, it was his kid wrote it. He was part of it. And like Spider-Man, it was his son taking over, but like it wasn't that great, And Marvel, everybody who reads Marvel knows that Spider-Man only has a daughter. Like he does not have boys. Doesn't make any sense.
Marvel, bring back Spider-Girl. That book was awesome.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't make her a bigger deal in these Spider crossovers. Like it doesn't make any sense. People love her.
When they when they said in the most recent Spider-Man movie that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had a daughter, I lost it. I was like, dude, they won't do it. It's just kind of one of those things that for like you and me, they did.
Right.
But oh, here you go. Yeah, but I lost it because I love that character and that book was so good. So it's being said, J.J. Abrams is J.J. Abrams, but Hickman is Hickman. What do you have to say about
that? Those are, well, J.J. Abrams wrote some of the best TV of all time, so I wouldn't say he's good. I admit Hickman is the best comic writer. I think I'm going to say it. I think he's better than Gaiman. I think the things he creates. I think Jason Aaron could be as good as Hickman. The problem with Jason Aaron is when Jason Aaron likes something and other people don't, he doesn't give a shit. He just doubles down and triples down and quadruples down. That's the negative. Jason Aaron is just as good as both of them, but the problem with Jason Aaron is like Ghost Rider had nothing to do with that Avengers run, but he loves his Ghost Rider.
That's his boy, man.
Boy. So that's and yeah, everything was good about Hickman's run. I felt it ended. I thought the ending was kind of stupid. It was a little too big that Hickman could handle, but it's not Hickman that Aaron could run, but yeah, I think Hickman's better than Gaiman when it comes to Marvel.
I think, well, hands down. I mean, that's not even a question to me personally. I'm not a big Gaiman guy, so
you're wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah, but the problem I had with Jason's, when I knew Jason's run on the Avengers was kind of doomed, and I didn't hate it, but it's I'm probably not going to go back to it anytime soon.
Right.
Was when he said, "I think that an Avengers book should always be an event, because if you have to assemble the Avengers, isn't that like a big, huge, monstrous threat?" And I'm just like, nah, not really.
Right. Well, did you read Jed McKay's like the end of this run, the first arc?
Yes. So I think I get what he's doing. Like he's setting something up to go forward. I think he made one of the like biggest mistakes somebody can make on a book like this, which is you have the Avengers. So why'd you split them up?
Well, but what I loved about it is that was classic Avengers like storytelling. The classic like, oh my God, how are they going to beat this? Oh, they already beat it. They already beat it before it began because they're fucking the Avengers. Like you were dumb. You thought they couldn't beat it, but you're stupid. The other thing that I love about it, which is irrelevant to anything that we're talking about, is Jed McKay had Thor say, "I say thee nay," in 2 of the 3 issues of Avengers, and that just warms my heart.
It's really good. I liked it. I just whenever these writers do this, like let's take the big team and then let's just split them up and have them be in separate areas. I'm like, why? It's the Avengers. If I wanted to read the Thor book, I'll read the Thor book. Right. But I get where he's going. They got a new base. They've got a new team member and all this stuff. So we'll see where it goes. I love Jed McKay, so
I mean, and Thor beat things with lightning, which is fantastic. Like everyone else had this like extreme, like well thought out thing, and Thor's like, "Nah, I'm gonna beat with lightning." That warmed my heart a lot because everybody else had all these unique ways. Like, I have a little bit of Ultron code in me. Like, try that. Oh my God! Like Miss Marvel going full binary. Oh my God! Scarlet Witch. I don't remember what she did, but it was very impressive. But Thor goes, "Oh yeah, I'm the god of lightning. I'm gonna just do lightning."
Yeah, it's a good book. What else did I read this week? What did I buy this week? That's my problem. I have them written down somewhere, but like, dude, my brain is
well,
done.
and you need your time. By the way, what'd you think? I do have to go because I got a wrestling thing pretty soon. I want to check my wife. But I do want to ask you because we haven't talked comics, and I love talking comics with you. You're one of my favorite shows because you give a shit about fucking comics. Not just whatever Kickstarter's out this week or whatever indie thing. I actually about comics. Does that frustrate you when someone comes on the show from Kickstarter and they don't know anything about mainstream comics?
Yes and no. I think I'm not going to name names, but I think you know who I'm talking about here. I think one of the like times I got the most frustrated with somebody was when they didn't read any comics really outside of like really big Image or independent stuff.
Right.
And they were very pinkies up about like, I'm better than all the Marvel writers.
Right.
To which I kind of stood back and was thinking in my head, like, well, you would probably be writing for Marvel if that was true. But sometimes I do like, we just had Jerry Carita, who's not like much of a comics guy, but he worked on the Comic Book Men show and he kind of fell in love with comics late in life, because I love that story. Like, that's great. For somebody to dive into our medium like that, and especially late in life, is inspirational to me, because that proves to me that people can do it. You don't have to grow up on comics to be a comics fan.
Right.
I
can see that. I can see that. So my question for you is, what do you think of JMS Cap?
It was okay.
Okay.
I don't understand why I want to see Cap as a landlord.
I actually kind of liked it. I kind of like Cap as a landlord. Like that makes sense to me. Like, it's like, remember when Peter Parker became a science teacher? I was like, this makes complete sense to me. I do also like that they fired him from being a teacher, because you can't just not show up to work. I like that as well. I like both.
I did like the structure of it, where it was like a day in the life, where he just oh yeah, we'll go help the Fantastic Four fight these things, and I do like some of my favorite Cap stuff, and actually that goes into something I was just looking through my books for the week, and there's another Cap book came out this week, but I like World War II Cap. I like the old stories, and for them to do kind of pre-World War II and get into the whole idea of the Nazi Party actually being in America before we were in the war and everything, and him, and him kind of coming to terms with this as he's quote unquote homeless as a child, is a cool idea. So we'll see if we spend more time on that. I'm in. I mean, I'll be in anyways. I buy it every week.
Who's your favorite Cap writer of all time?
I mean, I love that Brubaker run.
I was gonna say, if it's not Brubaker, you're wrong. But continue.
That's got to be it. I can't think of anyone else in recent time.
What I love about Brubaker is the issue of Bucky when he killed Bucky, like not Bucky Barnes, like the other Bucky, Nomad. When he killed Nomad in like a 2-panel and then wrote a Nomad one-shot, like in the middle of his run, with a letter page apologizing, going, I thought you guys didn't care about Nomad. I am so sorry. I didn't know not a lot about the character, and I researched him, and I wanted to give him a proper send-off, and that's what this is. Like, that warmed my heart, just going, you went back and actually listened to the fans and listened to them and gave them their ending for that character. Because, in the 90s, Nomad had a pretty decent run. I had like a 2-year run of a series, and like crossover in a bunch of books. So people knew who Nomad was and was kind of a cool character. And like someone who respects continuity in that respect, especially when you're doing something like the Winter Soldier, which is going to fuck shit up. Like, because I was against it for a real long time, like when Winter Soldier came back, because I was like, that's one of the keys. You can't do it. Like Gwen Stacy, you just can't fucking do it. I'm still not okay with Ghost Spider, even though I like her. It's Gwen Stacy. Like, you can't bring Gwen Stacy back. Well, that respect for continuity.
I never had that problem. I'm actually, if and this is why I'll never work for Marvel, but like if I got hired by Marvel tomorrow, I would be walking in and be like, yeah, let's just bring back Uncle Ben. Why not? Why are we being so precious about this? Like, who cares? It'll be a fun story. Then we can kill him again.
Dude, maybe that's what the new thing is. Him and Uncle Ben just hanging out. Maybe that's Uncle Ben.
So the new Cap book that came out this week by Stephanie Phillips was Cap Wolf and the Howling Commandos, by the way.
Yeah. You're all in?
I love Cap Wolf, man. It's World War II Cap Wolf, too.
I understand. I can see why you're all in. But I have to go, Chris. I loved hanging out with you.
All right.
I hope you had a good show. I hope this is.
I hope people liked it. I mean, I'm sorry we didn't have the actual panel because I'm apparently stupid. But we did have some fun talking about
the positive is
Twitter.
we're not going to be removed for violation.
Yeah. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed. We're gonna get going. See ya.
Peace.